We're glad to be sharing the ministry of Redemption Church with you. Now join us as we receive the Word of God.
Once again, that number is 214-856-0550. You can pop that question in there right now. All right, here's question number one. Is America in the book of Revelation? Is America in end-time prophecy? We're kind of a major country, so this is a great question. This is a really good question. And I've got some things to look at. Revelations 12 and 14, it talks about the woman that's giving birth, and there's a dragon about to devour her child. That story? Yeah. That woman, it says, is given 2 wings of a great eagle. And some people think that that is America protecting that woman. I don't think that's America. Number one, the next thing it says there, I think in 11, 12, 14, if you could pull that up, Revelations 12 and 14, it also says that that woman is protected in such a way that the devil can't get to her. And I don't think that describes America, right? I think the devil is well acquainted with America. Is that anywhere up there? She's taken out of the serpent's reach. That's at the end of verse 14. So I don't think that's America, although the eagle would definitely represent America. Well, let's look at this. Daniel 7 in verse 4, actually. Daniel has this dream that is an end-time dream. It's an apocalyptic dream, and it's of 4 beasts coming out of the sea. And didn't we see the Antichrist? Didn't we read about in Revelation a beast coming out of the sea? Well, he sees 4 beasts, and he describes them. One of them is a lion that has eagle's wings. And I find this one to be really interesting. Number one, let me just tell you, he's seeing a vision of the Antichrist and the New World Order, the government of the Antichrist. But in Daniel 7:4, he sees a lion with the wings of an eagle. Well, if America is the eagle, I mean, when you think of America, don't you think of a bald eagle, right? Don't you think of that? So maybe John was saying that. What country do you think of when you hear the word lion? Israel? Well, what about England? What about Britain? That's their symbol, the lion. They've got a lion. And guess what? The eagle's wings are attached to the lion. Where does our lineage come from as Americans? From England. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? So if America is somewhere in time prophecy, maybe we're there. We're attached to Britain right there. Maybe that's telling us something. But something happens. The wings are plucked off. Is that the next verse? Oh, right there. Yes, verse 4. I watched until its wings were torn off, and it was lifted from the ground so that it stood on 2 feet like a man. All right. So the lion becomes like a man, becomes like the Antichrist. It's like the wings are plucked off, and then it becomes like a man, and that's pointing towards the Antichrist, I believe, symbolically. So let me just talk to you really quick. I just have to tell you this. It's not to inspire fear, but it's to let you know how eminently important this all is. If that is America being plucked off, that could mean that we're separated from them, that we became our own country. Could mean that. But it could also mean that destruction comes to America. I mean, that could happen. I'm not telling you to go all invest in bomb shelters. Not telling you to do that. We have, but no, I'm just kidding. We have not. All right. My youth pastor has the best laugh. All right. America destroyed? Well, let me tell you, let me give a little bit more credence to that idea. The 4th seal, there's a horseman that is pale. He's the pale horse, and he is death, and hell follows after him, and he's given power to kill 1/4 of the world. That's roughly 1.5 billion people. That could be the Western world. That could be North and South America right there. All dying in one moment. And that can happen. There are bombs, there are just a few bombs that can do that, right? It's crazy stuff. So I just want, I'm asked the question. So there you go. I don't know that that's what will happen, but I don't see America that well in the end time, and that could be a reason. Hopefully we're raptured by then. That would be swell, but I hate to see that happen. I hate to see all the terrible things that are going to happen in the book of Revelation. Question 2. I hope I answered that one all right. Question 2. Symbolism in Revelation chapter 12. Who is the woman? Who is the child? Who is the dragon? Let me start with the dragon because I know this one. I know this. Ooh, 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 ooh. It's Satan. We read that in our verse. It's either in chapter 17 or chapter 18. He's called that serpent, the dragon, also known as Satan. We read that, so I know who that is. That is Satan. Whew, gold star. Now, when it comes to the woman or the child, there are a lot of different thoughts on that. So I'm going to give you the orthodox thought first. I mean, this is what most Christians believe. If you read books on end-time prophecy, they will give you this interpretation. The woman is Israel, and this is why they get that. She is clothed in the sun, and she is standing on the moon, and above her, or she's adorned, I think, with 12 stars on her head. 12 stars. Okay, so they think that's Israel. Why? Well, go to the Old Testament. You got a guy named Joseph. He has a dream, right? And it's of a sun and a moon and 11 stars. Okay, and the interpretation of that dreams were 11 stars were his brothers, and the sun and the moon were his father and mother. Right? Isaac and Rachel. All right? I'm just off the top of my head. All right. So guess what? Including him, he would be the 12th star, and he actually Israel and Rachel. Pardon me, Jacob and Rachel. And so his name becomes Israel. And this is the 12 tribes of Israel are his 12 sons. And so they are the 12 stars. And so they think that the woman is Israel. That's the Orthodox view. Then they think that the son that's being born is Jesus. And so they're actually thinking that this isn't a prophecy in the future, but telling something in the past. All right? I got some issues with that, but they think that is Jesus being born, and that there is a devil, a dragon right there, ready to devour the child as soon as it's born. Who would that devil be then in that interpretation? Herod, because Herod was killing all the Israel's little boys during that time. Okay, so I don't totally agree with that. I kind of have a different opinion, but it's not that huge of a deal with me. But here's the idea. I believe that the woman is the church. I believe that the woman is the church because 12 also represents the church. I believe that the woman is the church. I believe that the child is a remnant inside the church. And I believe that the child is taken up, that is the rapture, and that the rest of the church is left behind and is being chased by the devil through the rest of the tribulation. Okay, so let's just sit. Here's one reason I have trouble with the woman being Israel. The woman is Israel, which is a group of people in a nation, and then so that's a group of people represented by the woman. But then they try to make the baby represent a single human being. And that doesn't match symbolically. So I think my thought is that the woman is the church at large, and inside the woman is a remnant, an overcomer. And this ties into Revelations 2 and 3 and gives strong meaning to the words that are spoken over every church. To him who overcomes. In fact, one of the promises to him who overcomes, I forget in which church, but it's that he will rule with me with a rod of iron. And in Revelation 12, it says that child will rule with a rod of iron. And that's also why they think that's Jesus. But that could also be to him who overcomes. So let me just tell you this. I feel really strongly about this. If there is a rapture, right, and the whole church doesn't go in that rapture, only a small portion of that church doesn't goes in that rapture, and you're left behind. Don't give up on Jesus. Let me just tell you that. Don't ever give up on Jesus, okay? And you'll just, hopefully that's never you, and you never have to worry about this. But remember what I'm saying right now. Don't you give up on Jesus, because you can still make it. You can still make it through the tribulation. You can. It's going to be hard. Well, I would tell you that it's a lot easier to make it in the rapture and be an overcomer By the way, how do we overcome? By the blood of the Lamb through the word of our testimony. That's in the book of Revelation. All right, question 3. All right, crazy question. All right, question 3. If we are all changed at the seventh trumpet, we talked about that last week, does the Antichrist and the false prophet happen after that? I don't think so. I think that the false prophet and the Antichrist are present before the seventh trumpet. I think that it's either the false prophet or the Antichrist. I think it's the Antichrist that comes at the first seal. He is the white rider that is set on conquest. And he sets everything in motion. I believe that is the start of tribulation. When he comes into power, war follows after it. That's the second seal, the second rider. And then famine and death, right? So I believe that the Antichrist and the false prophet appear before the seventh trumpet. Of course, a lot of people would disagree with me, but we'll see. Whether or not there is a catching away at the seventh trumpet, that remains to be seen. We don't know. There are scriptures, at the last trump of God, the dead in Christ shall rise, we will be changed. In fact, the question references that. It appears the Antichrist and false prophet are already on the scene and leading the world astray. Okay? Question 4. Are the bowls part of the tribulation?